Hey there, everybody. So today I'm doing a full deep dive review on the Massacre video release of Mahakaal. This is a film that I've been dying to see for a long time, and I put it up in our poll on the Patreon page, and everybody at the screenwriter tier and above was able to vote. And for the month of June, they voted on Mahakaal, and everything has been watched and ingested and discussed thoroughly with other people around me that watched it, and I'm so ready to talk about this film with all of you sweet people. So let's dive in. So first off, again, physical release. This is from Massacre Video. This is number 10 in their Blu-ray collector's edition, limited edition, whatever they're calling it. Comes in this slipcase, flimsy slipcase, fairly thin. You can see the back here. Just a regular Massacre Video slipcase, nothing crazy here. Like the art, good enough, sells the movie well. The one thing that I'm going to point out now, which we will talk about when we go through the features on the disc, this is the funniest thing to me. This giant paragraph of special features on the back. Take a moment, read what that says. Brand new 2K scan from the original 35mm camera negative. That's not a special feature. Uncompressed PCM audio. That's not a special feature. English subtitles. That's not a special feature. Bollywood crypt interview with Deepak Ramsey. A special feature, nice. Extensive stills gallery. That's a special feature, I guess. And then trailers for other Massacre Video releases. That's not a special feature. That is promo. That's advertising. So really, there's a picture slideshow and there's a Zoom interview on this disc. We'll get into that. But the film itself, on the inside, this is the case. This is the art that they have on it. They have reverse art on this, but it's basically the same as this art with a different color scheme. The back is more of the same as that we saw on the outside. On the inside, it's it's a decent release. We got some disc art, nothing crazy. It's a Massacre Video release. If you have anything from them, you know what they like to do for these. So the main thing with the physical release to talk about, this thing is normally like $30. When this came out retail, it was $29.99, something like that. $30 for this. Is it worth it? Let's break down the movie. So with Mahakaal, whenever you hear this film referred to, all you're going to hear is that it's a knockoff of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Is that accurate? Yeah, kind of. I gotta be honest, it really is. But the big thing is, it's a Bollywood knockoff of A Nightmare on Elm Street. And for some people, that's going to be off-putting. I think that should be more of a draw, personally. But I really just want to say the better question here is it good? And the answer is yes. I really enjoyed this. So looking at this film, you have a lot of things that are just a straight rip from A Nightmare on Elm Street. And I'm not talking, paying slight honor to A Nightmare on Elm Street or giving it a nice homage send-off or anything like that. We're talking parts of the score are full on lifted and then placed into this film. Now, you get a lot of the same beats. You get the classic body bag being mysteriously pulled through an empty school. You get really creepy scenes of a person with knives on their fingers, basically, coming out of nowhere and really genuinely being creepy in some of these scenes. Some of the aesthetics, like the commercial areas that you see Heather Langenkamp running through in A Nightmare on Elm Street, you get lifted into this film, and it feels really close to what you get out of that original moment. But there are also a lot of differences. So let's break down this film itself, and I'm going to highlight some of those differences. So basically, this is the story that you get in A Nightmare on Elm Street. There is a female character that is going to school that is starting to have these dreams that she's seeing the same character in her dreams, and there was a tragedy, and somebody that was at the helm of this tragedy is coming to haunt our main character as well. Now, some of the weird things that come with this. Our character that we are focused on this entire time looks to be much older than she's supposed to be in the film. So does everyone else. These are supposed to be, you can't quite tell from the lines of dialogue, but it's basically seniors in high school or somebody in like very early college, something like that. They're all much, much older than that. But it's fun. It's really well done. I promise. They also took the liberty of adding a lot of really neat things into the story. So in A Nightmare on Elm Street, when you have the connection of some kids that lived in the neighborhood being killed previously or being assaulted in certain ways, one of the things that makes this more personal is that our main character's sibling was actually killed in this tragedy. So this entire time, there's a much more personal connection. She has more at stake. She understands that her family's been affected by it. And the story kind of goes from there. That being said, are there, some weird tonal shifts? Because in one scene, somebody might be killed or on the run because they're being framed for a crime. And the next scene, you're having a picnic on the beach and dancing with your friend. Maybe you are trying to get away and suddenly you are singing and dancing in front of what looks to be like a hotel area. Yeah, this movie is a lot of fun. Is it a perfect movie? Of course not, not at all. It does come across as very cheesy in many of the scenes, but it's creepy. It's well made. It's got the aesthetic. It's got the feel. It's got enough things to make it unique that it makes it worth your time to watch. Now, if you are not a fan of some of the actors, I would totally understand that. I said that this was cheesy, and with that comes some semblance of cheesy acting. You even get one of the characters doing like a Michael Jackson send-up. That's pretty damn good, and he looks really good too. But it is not done in a way that makes you really drawn into some of these characters. Some of the other things that they did really well. I mentioned the body bag being dragged through the school scene being copied. It's actually really well made here. It's got some creepy imagery. They adapted it very well. There's even a scene where our main character is, going through these commercial industrial grade areas like we saw in A Nightmare on Elm Street. And then there's this one scene where one of our characters is extending her arms and there's like blood pouring out of her eyes. And it's done in a way that is menacing and it can take you by surprise. It's not something that I expected at that moment. And it was pretty well done. So with the Bollywood style and tag and moniker that they use for all of this, it's going to be a little long. This thing is about 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and even leaving all of the, song and dance numbers in, they probably could have shaved 20 minutes off of this, and it would have felt much, much better. I don't know what I would pull from that, though, because I think that they did a really good job of actually crafting a compelling story here and made it personal and unique in a way that they probably were striving to. I think that they were successful in making this film. Based on that, I do want to give this a soft recommend. I think if you are on the fence of enjoying Bollywood stuff, you're probably not going to love this. This definitely leans heavily into that side. If you have tried one or two Bollywood films and you kind of enjoyed them, I would give this one a shot. If you've never given Bollywood a shot and you really want to dive in, this is a really good bridge because it's got a lot of ties to American pop culture and, the Pepsi branding, the Michael Jackson of it all. At the heart of it all, this is just a story inspired by this incredible Wes Craven classic. So if that's something that interests you, I would check it out. Now, I probably wouldn't check it out on this Massacre video disc. I don't think it's worth $30. I don't think it's worth the high price that this goes for on the secondary market. I don't think it's worth paying retail for one without the slip. It's probably a one-time viewing. I liked it enough. I'd probably give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. But for me, if you can find it elsewhere, that's how I would watch this. I do still think that you would benefit to have this in your, film knowledge. But get it in a way that costs you a lot less than that. Now, as I record the ending of this, my patrons are currently voting for my film to watch in the month of July. They are leaning to something that's actually very similar to Mahakaal. If you want to be able to vote on that in future videos, please take a look at the Patreon link in the description below. I am eager to see what I will dive into next month. And in the meantime, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like and share with somebody else that might be interested in learning about Mahakaal. And as I always say, from one collector to all of you, have a good night. Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share with someone else that may appreciate this.